As pandemic Prime Minister, Scott Morrison sought to make a virtue of briefing the nation on big decisions soon after they'd been made. It's what he didn't tell Australians that'll permanently stain his legacy.
The actions of the former Prime Minister were extraordinary, they were unprecedented, and they were wrong.
Former High Court Justice Virginia Bell finding Scott Morrison's secret power grab exorbitant and corrosive of trust and confidence in government.
Quite clearly, he's misled the Parliament every single day in which he stood there.
Anthony Albanese to recommend Cabinet accepts Justice Bell's 6 recommendations, including laws requiring publication of ministerial arrangements and any division of portfolio responsibilities.
I hope now they will just get on and act on the recommendations rather than continuing to politicise the matter.
As well as secretly swearing himself in as the Minister for Health, Finance, Treasury, Home Affairs and the Super Ministry of Industry, Science, Energy and Resources, the Bell inquiry reveals there'd also been a plan to make Scott Morrison duplicate Minister for Agriculture, Water and the Environment, then held by David Littleproud. The inquiry also finding some in the public service did raise concerns about the ministerial duplication. Even the Governor-General was put on notice that the circumstances were unusual.
What was the culture that allowed this to thrive?
Scott Morrison maintains he only used his undisclosed powers once in the resources portfolio to ensure Keith Pitt didn't approve the PEP 11 gas project off the New South Wales coast.
I've taken that decision directly as Prime Minister.
We were entitled to know that there were 2 people potentially responsible for that project.
Mr Morrison declined to speak to Justice Bell, his lawyer corresponding on his behalf.
Ms Bell described Scott Morrison's various accounts and explanations for his conduct as not easy to understand and difficult to reconcile.
Scott Morrison issuing a statement saying criticisms of his decisions were made after the event and that his awareness of issues regarding national security and the national interest went beyond the knowledge of individual ministers and certainly the inquiry. Former Treasurer Josh Frydenberg, once the PM's good mate, who even shared digs at the Lodge during Morrison's ministerial moonlighting, has described the power grab as extreme overreach.
Oh, look, I'm not going to get into argy-bargy there. These are matters between Scott and Josh.
Justice Bell dispels any claim the former PM needed extra ministerial powers during the pandemic, saying they were unnecessary. Scott Morrison now faces the prospect of formal parliamentary censure, but the real punishment will be the soiling of his stewardship through the COVID pandemic. Even some former allies now see him as a paranoid control freak who so distrusted even his closest colleagues he pinched power by secret decree. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.